Okay, welcome back, folks. We are now today working out how to work out percentages of a number without using a calculator. So first of all, what we need to understand is how do we work out the common percentage values. So for example, like we have, let's get a different color. If we want to work out 1%, what does that mean? How do we work it out? What is 10%? What is 25%? 50%, and then we have all the multiples and stuff like that, the 30s and the 40s and so on and so on. Now 1% is 1/100th of the value. So to work out 1%, different color. Okay, let's go to that. 1% means 1 divided by 100. 10% means 10 over 100. 25% means 25 over 100. And 50% means 50 over 100. Now, if we simplify these, 1 over 100, to work on 100, what we need to do, we need to divide by 100. 10 hundredths basically cancels down to 1/10, so we're dividing by 10. To work out 25%, if we cancel that down by dividing top and bottom by 25, we get a quarter. To work out quarter, we simply divide by 4. 50%, if we cancel that down by dividing top and bottom by 50, we get a half. And to work out half, we divide by 2. So these are some of the nice easy ones to work out. To work out 1%, 10%, 25%, and working out 50%. So let's have a look. Okay. Right, so now let's do some of the questions. So question 2a says calculate 10% of 700. So if you're working out 10% of 700, what we need to do, we need to be able to divide by 10, because that's what 10% actually is. So to divide by 10, we need to 700 divided by 10, remove a 0. So the answer is 70. So any of these values here, to work it out, we have to, let's have a go at question E now. Something a little bit different. Let's see how we deal with that. We have to work out now 10% of £68. Now 10% of £68 has the same, now 10% means divide by 10. When you divide a whole number by 10 that doesn't have any zeros for removal, we put the decimal point in ourselves at the end of the number where it normally is and move that one place back. So that gives us an answer of £6.80 actually. So that's how we, if we have a 0, it's quite easy. We just literally remove the zeros. 1 0 actually, if we divide by 10. But if you don't have a 0, we have to decimalize the number. Okay, and that's how we do the 10% values. Now let's do one further example of one which has a decimal point in it already in the question. So let's just choose a different color and just squeeze it in here somewhere. So calculate, say 10% of £6.50. This question comes in with its own inbuilt decimal point already there, given for free. Move that back because we are dividing by 10. So the answer will be 0.65. And that's our third example. So we got 3 examples there. So we have this example here. Example number 1. Example number 2. And example number 3. So that is how, for example, in these questions, how you'd work out 10%. Now, if you wanted to work out 20%, 30%, 40%, and 50%, you work out 10, then times by 2, times by 3, times by 4, times by 6, 7, 8, depending on what multiple of 10% you want. So those are quite easy to do. And we could have a look if we got some space here on this video. Okay, say, for example, we said we wanted to calculate 30% of 70. So the first thing that we're going to work out is we're going to work out 10%. Because we're doing it manually, we're going to divide it by 10, move a 0, that's 7. Now to get from 10 to 30, we have to triple it. So 10 times by 3 is 30%, and 7 times by 3 is 21. And that is the answer. So working at 20, 30, 40, 60, 70, 80, 90, we just multiply by that many, whatever the multiple of the 10 times table it is. So now we should be able to do all the questions from 2a all the way down to 2m. In the next video, we'll show you how to deal with 15% and other like percentage which are like a bit, which will take a little bit more calculations. So, right, I would like whoever's watching this video to have a go at questions 2a all the way up to 2m, and then we'll go through the other questions in the next video. Thank you for joining us.